Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to be talking about how much Kaspa you should be holding. And in this video, we're going to go over a few points that you should be considering before you ever invest into Kaspa at all. And then we're going to be going into looking at future projections of Kaspa, where it might go in the future. And personally, I don't personally like price predictions, but when I do talk about price predictions, I like to look in terms of market cap and just look at possibilities. But of course, none of this is for sure going to happen. It's not guaranteed. These are just my opinions and how I personally view this whole entire financial situation when you're looking into Kaspa. So here are the first few points when you're trying to figure out how much Kaspa you should have. Truly, the first thing you need to do is research. And I have this in all caps because this is the primary thing that you need to do before you invest into Kaspa, is to understand why you are buying Kaspa. There are so many people that get into Kaspa and they see the chart and it also obviously looks awesome. And then they want to purchase some Kaspa. And then sometimes they ask me, well, how much should I put in? How much this, and that? And I'm like, dude, like seriously, like I highly encourage you to research, maybe watch my videos, learn about what you're buying, because truly, if you don't understand what you're buying, this was going to cause you to probably sell too early because you start to get emotional with your investment. You don't fully understand what you're getting yourself into, and then, it can hurt you in the future. So the first thing you need to do is research Kaspa. If you really want to start getting involved with Kaspa, please do your research. This is primary. Then once you do your research and you're like, okay, I have some money that I do want to invest. Now you need to make sure this money is money that you're willing to lose. My current financial situation, if Kaspa was to go to zero, worst case scenario, I know that would absolutely suck. Of course it would suck. But my life would continue going on. It would literally not disrupt how I live my life day to day. There would still be food on the table. The bills will still be met. And that is my position currently. I hope everyone who's investing into crypto or any investments, doesn't matter, you're in that position. Because if you're not, you are setting yourself up for a very, very ugly situation. It's especially very important to have a really, really strong cash position. In my opinion, I think it's smart to do, especially now in the US where interest rates are pretty high. This means high yield savings accounts are going to be pretty high. So right now I'm saving my cash in like a high yield saving account that's giving me about like 5%. And I'm mainly doing that because I'm planning on getting a house within the next year or so. So I do want to keep some cash on the side that has no volatility, but it's still making me money. It's making 5% interest, which is perfect. So please, make sure you're putting money that you are willing to lose, because anything you lose is truly on you. The next thing is your debts. Personally, I have zero debt. I have no debt. And this will really, really help you with your investing journey if you have no debt, because you don't have that kind of just hovering over you that you need to pay these bills and pay them down and whatnot, because that's always difficult when you do have debts. And I always tell people, like, listen, if you got debts, I would say try to get those knocked out as quickly as possible. If you don't have those knocked out as quickly as possible first, you probably want to make sure you're not putting way too much into investments. But of course, if you want to consider Kaspa, just consider getting a decent size bag to start and then focus on those debts, because you really don't want to have debts. The next thing you want to think about is taxes. A lot of people don't really talk about this too much. They kind of just leave that for you to decide. But seriously, do your research on taxes. Personally, I know for like the US, if you hold for 1 year, you can avoid a lot of taxes. So if you're planning on buying Kaspa, think about the fact that, hey, if I sell this before 1 year, I'm gonna have to pay a lot of taxes. So it wouldn't make sense if I'm only able to invest, let's say, $1,000, and then the Kaspa, and it rises in profit only another $1,000. If you sell that and it's not even been a year, you're gonna lose a lot in taxes there. So just make sure you do your research on taxes. And then the last thing we're going to get into is, of course, the future potential. And to understand the future potential, you need to understand how the crypto market works and you need to know about market cap and supply. And that's what we're going to be going into right now. So if we're looking at Kaspa, currently the circulating supply is at 22.6 billion right now. Now, if you don't already know how the emission schedule work for Kaspa, you can go ahead and go to cas.fyi and actually see how the emissions schedule work. This emission schedule prints more Kaspa into existence. And the way more Kaspa gets into existence is through proof of work mining, which is how Kaspa is secured and how the network is run. It's run through proof of work mining. The people who are mining new Kaspa into existence and securing the chain. And currently you could see that right now, the current reward for Kaspa is 131 Kaspa per block. There's a block every single second. So if you do the math, you can figure out how much Kaspa is being emitted every single day and every single month. There's also another chart that you can go to on kaspa.org. And if you go to about Kaspa and go to the tokenomics, you could see a PDF file that shows you the release schedule by months, and it could tell you how much Kaspa is in existence by each of those months here. So once you look into that, you're going to start seeing how much Kaspa is left to mine and then how much is being mined each month. So right now, if we're looking for 2024, we're currently in February. You can see that this month there's going to be 344 million Kaspa mined. So 344 new Kaspa created, and this dilutes the price. So that means it's going to dilute the future price potential when we're looking at how high Kaspa can go, because the max supply of Kaspa is 28.7 billion. So to put this in simple terms, right now the total supply is 22.6 billion, and if Kaspa wants to go to $1, if you want to see Kaspa at $1, there needs to be $22 billion that gets invested into Kaspa. So now that we know how this pretty much works, how the pricing works, it's because of the market cap and then the supply and how much is the max supply. Now we look at the other coins that are above it and see how high they went in market cap in previous cycles to maybe get a good idea of where Kaspa could potentially go. And we can see currently Bitcoin's at $947 billion worth of market cap. Now, anyone who's calling for Kaspa to go to this market cap, I think it is greatly just not realistic at all. There has never been a coin that has gone over 500 billion market cap other than really Ethereum. Ethereum, the last bull market, was able to get up to, I think it was just barely above 500. We're talking about 500, well, actually went 552 billion. So it almost was trying to get to 600 billion, but it didn't get that high. Ethereum was the second highest market cap in the last bull run. And so looking at that, I truly do not believe Kaspa could get to even 500 billion this market cap. Now, some people like to go even higher with Kaspa, possibly getting to 200 billion market cap, which we'll see if that's actually possible here. But yeah, if we keep going down the list, you could see that the top two are the highest market caps, and then after that you have a huge drop off. The stablecoin USDT doesn't count. This is just a dollar stablecoin it's pegged to the US dollar, so this doesn't count. The next cryptocurrency that exists that has market cap in it is $47 billion. And then after that, it just keeps dropping down below until we get to Kaspa, which is currently sitting at number 28 at $3.2 billion. So this is when you can go ahead and start comparing Kaspa to other coins that have similar market cap, similar attention, and basically like a similar run, similar fundamentals. And that's when you just do research on a little bit of other coins. So some coins that Kaspa gets compared to is something like Cardano. Cardano was a coin that didn't even have smart contracts the last bull run and was still able to get pretty high. So we could see here that in the last bull run, Cardano went to about a 91 billion market cap. And if we were to put Kaspa to Cardano's market cap. Currently right now, if Kaspa was to get to Cardano's market cap, that would put it at about 84 cents. And if we're looking at the all-time high of Cardano's market cap, that would put Kaspa at about $4.18, which would be a 28x from today. But remember that the emission is always creating more Kaspa. So this price is going to get diluted and it's going to be brought lower because currently the max supply of Kaspa is going to be around 22 billion. But by the time it reaches this 95 billion market cap, if it does, I'm not saying it will, but if it does, remember, you got to look at that schedule and see how much Kaspa is in existence when this happens. So if we're trying to predict the top of the bull run, which is pretty much, I don't really know the perfect top of the bull run, but the guess that most people have is around 2025. We're going to be looking at Kaspa being about 26 billion Kaspa in existence. So you're going to have to kind of do that math if you want to see where that price would be, because currently we're only at 22 billion. And from here till 2025, there's going to be another 3 billion Kaspa that's going to get printed. So just keep that in mind when we're looking at this further. Another one that Kaspa gets compared to is Solana. Solana is pretty similar in just the way the price action worked and how it was lacking exchanges. Once it got the exchanges, it really just had a huge big run up. Of course, there's VCs and other things involved. There's a little bit of different fundamentals. Solana also has an infinite supply, and their total supply is only 569 million right now. But still, we're just looking at the market cap and how much money was put into these coins. And you could see in the last run, Solana got about 78 billion market cap. This website will give us an exact area of where Solana went to. But if Kaspa was to get to Solana's market cap right now, that will put it at about $2.09. And if it was to get to Solana's market cap at the all-time high, which was about that 77 billion area, that would put it at $3.41. Now, the next coins that I want to look at are coins that are very, very closely related to Kaspa in terms of fundamentals, because they use the same consensus mechanism as proof of work. And Ethereum Classic is an example of a proof of work cryptocurrency that has stayed a little bit relevant in the space. It's still able to stay pretty much up there. It's currently a little bit above Kaspa in terms of market cap. But in the last bull run, we saw Ethereum Classic go all the way up to about $13 billion market cap. And if we were to take a look at Kaspa and where that would put it at, right now, if Kaspa just got to Ethereum Classic's market cap, which is 3.7 billion, that would be 16 cents for Kaspa, which I think will be very easy for Kaspa to do, because I believe Kaspa is far superior to Ethereum Classic. And then if we're looking at the all-time high for Ethereum Classic, that will put it at only 75 cents, which would be a $17 billion market cap. I think this is like a very, very below average guess that where Kaspa can go in the future. I truly believe Kaspa is far more superior than Ethereum Classic. Now, the next coin we're going to be looking at is Bitcoin Cash. And I think this one's even more similar to Kaspa, because Bitcoin Cash, the whole purpose of it was to try to become money. But it really is just a hard fork of Bitcoin, and that kind of hurts its fundamentals a lot, because since it was just a hard fork of Bitcoin, that meant that miners get to pretty much choose who wins in the proof of work wars when it comes to the forks of Bitcoin. You got Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, and all of that. And because these were just direct forks of Bitcoin, the miners were able to choose between mining Bitcoin Cash or mining Bitcoin. And clearly Bitcoin has been winning, and Bitcoin Cash has been losing value against Bitcoin over time. And pretty much, I just don't think this is a coin that's worth holding rather than just holding Bitcoin. If you really are bullish on Bitcoin Cash, I don't know, personally, I just don't see the fundamentals there to hold it up any further. This is its last bull run, in my opinion. I think if Bitcoin Cash cannot make a new all-time high against Bitcoin or against its last all-time high in the last bull run, it's going to be pretty bad. But you could see that it's just diminishing returns year after year. But nonetheless, it still had a lot of money get put into it, and we could see that at the peak, Bitcoin Cash got to about $56 billion market cap. So it's definitely possible for a coin with a some type of narrative in terms of becoming money and cryptocurrency, which is more what Kaspa is trying to aim for, can get this amount of valuation. And we can go ahead and check what Kaspa would be at if it was to go to Bitcoin Cash's market cap right now. And currently Bitcoin Cash is at $5.4 billion market cap. That would put Kaspa at 23 cents. If it goes to Bitcoin Cash's all-time high, that would put it about $2.81. Next coin we're going to look at here is Litecoin. And I think this is probably the best comparable coin when it comes to the fundamentals and everything behind Litecoin and its vision, because Litecoin, its goal was to become digital silver. It was to try to be the silver to Bitcoin's gold and all that kind of narrative kind of things. And we can see here that its market cap in the last bull run, it actually created a new all-time high in market cap, which is pretty good. But again, it's in the same situation. If it doesn't create a new all-time high with Litecoin, I think it's going to be pretty bad. And also Litecoin is just a hard fork of Bitcoin. The technology behind it is really not as great as Kaspa. Kaspa is superior in technology when you're comparing it to any other proof of work cryptocurrency, in my opinion, even Bitcoin. But I just don't think Kaspa would beat Bitcoin, because Bitcoin just has a lot of adoption and narratives behind it that will keep it up for a little bit longer period of time. If Kaspa was to ever somehow get really close to Bitcoin's market cap, I think Kaspa needs a lot more time before we can see something like that. But nonetheless, Litecoin still hit around a 25 billion market cap. And if we're comparing it to Litecoin, we could see if it was to match it today, it would be at 23 cents, which is about a 1.62x. I personally believe this next run up, if Kaspa does break its all-time high, I believe this run is the run to possibly finally pass Litecoin in terms of market cap. And then if we're looking at the Litecoin all-time high, you could see it's at 25 billion, and that will put Kaspa at about $1.13. And as you can see, we're kind of getting a little bit more conservative here on where the valuations could be, comparing it to other cryptocurrencies that have existed in the past and have received money. Now, mind you that usually every single bull cycle, more money comes in than the last cycle. So if Kaspa is getting to any of these kind of valuations, I really think it will be a little bit higher than that for sure. And then the last coin that I want to compare it to is Dogecoin, because if Kaspa passes Litecoin, which I believe it will eventually, because I just think Litecoin is super redundant when Kaspa solves a lot of problems in the proof of work world, Dogecoin is the last proof of work that Kaspa needs to pass. And truly, Dogecoin is simply a meme coin, and it's everyone holding on to it, hoping that Elon Musk will adopt Dogecoin. And honestly, I think it's very bad when you have a singular person that's dictating the price and the future of your project. I think that's just very, very bad, and it's kind of risky. And that's how it is with Dogecoin right now. Is like one person is kind of dictating where this will go in the future. So I don't really like that personally. And ultimately, Dogecoin is a meme coin. It has an infinite supply. An infinite supply. This is worse. This is going to be worse than the US dollar. And it's still very, very slow. It's not going to be as secured as Kaspa and all that kind of stuff. But nonetheless, it did rise all the way up to about $84 billion market cap, which is insane. And personally, I believe if Kaspa is under any other proof of work coin other than Bitcoin, I believe it's undervalued still. But Dogecoin got to an 84 billion market cap. If Kaspa was to go to Dogecoin's level today, that would put it at $11 billion market cap, and that would equal about 51 cents Kaspa. And if we're looking at the all-time high, that would put Kaspa at about $3.91, with Dogecoin's all-time high of $88 billion. So truly, like I was saying before, Kaspa, I believe, is the most superior proof of work cryptocurrency in the space right now in this market. I mean, we have the metrics to show it. If you're looking at emissions, which is how much Kaspa is emitting in US dollars every 24 hours, it's the second best cryptocurrency, emitting about $1.66 million of mining revenue. If we're looking at the ASICs profitability, Kaspa is the most profitable cryptocurrency to mine in the whole entire crypto space. If we're looking at the cost to do a 51% attack, Kaspa is the second most expensive cryptocurrency proof of work to try to do a 51% attack. We literally just passed Litecoin in terms of that security. So the metrics behind Kaspa, and then including all the other fundamentals that I cover on my channel, I see Kaspa really being able to, at least at the bare minimum, surpass Litecoin, and then after that is to pass Dogecoin in future market cap. And if it gets into that top 10 area, I believe the top 10 area is the place to be in to receive these higher market cap valuations. But truly, I don't really know where it's going to go for sure. This is why you have to do your own research, come to your own conclusions. It depends your financial situation and everything about that. And truly, it's putting in how much you're willing to lose. I have certain price points that I think is more certain to happen, which personally, I'll only say this. I think it's more certain for Kaspa to at least get to $1. So I've positioned myself to be ready for something like that. But you have to do your own research and come to your own conclusion on how much you want to be holding for this possible upcoming bull run. But at the end of the day, I truly believe Kaspa is a cryptocurrency that's going to be fulfilling a mission that has not been fulfilled in the crypto space, as becoming a type of money, a digital silver in the space. And I believe it's going to continue to outperform a lot of other cryptocurrencies for the foreseeable future. So truly, I just believe this is something for me to dollar cost average in for like the next decade and take profits when I see that it's a good time to take profits and whatnot. But truly, you do have to do your own research at the end of the day to come to your own conclusion here. But I hope that kind of helped you to kind of get an idea of what you should be looking at, how you can do your own predictions, and hopefully you're more equipped to make your own personal decisions, because this is personal finance and you should make it personal to you. So thank you guys so much for watching. And if you do enjoy my content on here, please consider joining my Patreon if you want to go ahead and support me. It's about $15 a month, but you do get access to my private Discord. I also give away Kaspa to people in there every single week. And also you get to talk to me 24/7 whenever you want. You just put a text in the Discord and I'll be happy to respond to you, answer any questions or anything like that. So if you want to just support this channel, the Patreon is the best way to do that, to support me, and you get at least 1 month to be in that private Discord. Or if you want to pledge more months, you can do that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, don't be average, be different.